New Delhi. Despite pressure from Western countries, India has remained steadfast in its partnership with Russia, refusing to condemn the war in Ukraine and not joining Western sanctions against Moscow. However, analysts say this has not affected, nor is it likely to affect, India's growing ties with the United States. On a visit to Moscow last month, Indian Foreign Minister Subrahmanyam Jaishankar said New Delhi will boost economic ties with its Cold War ally. For us, Russia has been a steady and time-tested partner and, as I said, any objective evaluation of our relationship over many decades would confirm that it has served both our countries very, very well. India's military heavily dependent on tanks, fighter jets, and other equipment of Russian origin, it could not afford to isolate Moscow, particularly at a time when tensions with China are running high with both armies massed for a third winter along their disputed Himalayan border. If your soldiers are facing the Chinese, you can't really take on the one country that is supplying you weapons. That defense relationship India shares with Russia made India choose a more pragmatic engagement, said Harsh Pant, Vice President for Studies and Foreign Policy at the Observer Research Foundation in New Delhi. Rebuffing calls by Western leaders to not buy Russian crude, India increased its purchases of oil, coal and fertilizers from Moscow. From less than 1% before the war began, Russia became a top supplier to New Delhi of oil by the year's end. Indian officials said that buying oil from Moscow was to the country's advantage and it would continue to do so. India also sent a contingent to participate in Russia's large-scale Vostok military exercises alongside China and several other countries in August. But in a recent phone call between the two leaders, Modi again called for diplomacy and dialogue to end the conflict. India feels that a lot of things that Russians are doing at the moment, perhaps are unwarranted, the kind of strikes on civilians and the energy sector. So there has been some negative response to what Russia is doing, according to Pant. However, he added that public condemnation of Russia is not going to happen because India feels that there are multiple causes for this conflict, therefore political dialogue is the only way forward.